Welcome, family, to Help Stop the Genocide in American Ghettos podcast. I'm your host, Emmanuel Barbee. Thank you very much for tuning in. If you're not already subscribed to our YouTube channel, then go ahead and click that subscribe button so that you can be notified when we upload a new video. If you are already subscribed, then please give the video a like and share this video podcast with your friends. This will help get the ball rolling. This podcast is available in 3 forms: audio, video, and a written transcript in order for us to reach our audience. I also cite all of my sources under Show and Prove on my Medium page, which is where I post my transcript. I use this platform to interact with everyone on my friends list and everyone in my social groups by giving Black business owners free airtime to promote their products and services. I give people in the faith community an opportunity to share the gospel of Jesus Christ, and ordinary law-abiding citizens an opportunity to share their special talents and skills to my listeners from around the globe. After the show, I offer my guest speakers an incentive by teaching them how to create their own podcast and YouTube channel to help them earn extra revenue during COVID-19. I also assist people on my friends list with creating basic websites, finding college scholarships and grants, housing and legal services, all for free. We need your help now more than ever. Our film project, Hood Liberator Made in Chicago, The War Against Willie Lynch Begins, is funded by the Black grassroots and the global Black family. I am working with a shoestring budget as our community continues to grow. Our operational costs will also grow. If you got any value from our content this year, please consider supporting our film project in 3 ways. They are as follows. Through our virtual store, we provide merchandise such as COVID face masks, coffee mugs, posters, handbags, and t-shirts. All the proceeds will go towards our film project. 2, through our PayPal page, Rittenhouse Chicago, which is the Grassroots Community Activist Institute of Chicago, is a faith-based community advocacy organization. Donations can be used as a tax write-off for U.S. citizens because this is a legal 501c3 nonprofit organization. 3, you can also support our film project by purchasing my revised book, quote, The Solution for Black America, Reclaiming, Rebuilding, and Restoring the Urban Ghettos in America, 2nd edition, which is available on my Amazon author page. I provide each website on my transcript under Show and Prove. You can also find each website on my YouTube channel under About section. When you're supporting our YouTube channel or our podcast, you're supporting an independent Black network which will eventually employ Black people in our films, stage plays, and in our actual business. We're gonna start getting things done. We need to own and control institutions in our neighborhoods. If you are unable to participate on the show, no worries. After the show, I upload my video podcast on my YouTube channel and on my Anchor page. When you have a moment, please watch my latest video podcast. Leave a public comment in the section on my YouTube page and on my Facebook page about the topic. Please share my information with your friends. This will help get the ball rolling. Instructions on how to participate on the show. First, watch my video podcast. This is called Side A. After I finish my presentation, then I will open up the phone lines through Facebook Messenger. This is called Side B. You can interact with me in real time either by voice call by clicking on the phone icon or by video call by clicking on the camera icon. Family, it's time for us to move Gurkam from behind a computer and into our community. If we are serious about saving the next generation, I can't do it alone. And it does not matter how bad I want to move this organization from behind a computer. Like I said many times before, without support from the black grassroots and the global black family, I am unable to do my job. I'm using this show to help get the ball rolling. Since our people don't want to read my story, the only thing I can do at this time is to focus on raising funds for our film project. The proceeds from the film will help put me in a better position financially so that I can hire qualified black middle class professionals, buy office equipment, and purchase property in Chicago and in Africa. Once we are established, Gurkha of Chicago, then we would invite black professionals from around the country to come to our multi-purpose facility in order to turn my ideas into actions. 30 years of rejection and being overlooked has not stopped me from trying my best to help my people that are trapped in American ghettos. We must reclaim our culture from hardened criminals who have self-hatred and hate black people with a passion. We must deal with this Willie Lynch mentality before it destroys all of us in America. The sooner I'm able to get this organization up and running in America, the sooner I can turn it over to qualified people and take my talents and skills to Africa. But before I cut and run, I need to make sure that I am able to sustain myself in Africa. I don't want to come to Africa empty-handed. I want to be in a position where I can offer tangibles to my group members from my African group, Gurkha of Africa. This video podcast attempts to present critical thinking analysis and uses a spiritual perspective of what's happening in Black America throughout the diaspora from news, social issues, cultural issues, and political issues. The goal of the grassroots community activist movement is to provide solutions and strategies to solve black issues domestically and internationally. Our black media component helps stop the genocide in American ghettos / the new Black Voices of Media is an extension of Gurkha. On our YouTube channel, we plan to provide travel, video podcasts, interviews, and guest contributors on the show. We're committed to reporting truthful and accurate news. We're dedicated to bringing stories that spark conversation and topics that are controversial. We believe our interviewing audience guides the direction of our platform. You all are the reason why I'm doing this video podcast. I'm inspired to present relevant information that I think we can all learn from and be aware of the circumstances we face in America. Today's topic, white supremacy on trial. The Kyle Rittenhouse murder trial. The next topic, the Ahmaud Arbery trial. Dangerous streets, getting killed in the hood. And the last topic is good intentions versus bad motives. The first topic, white supremacists on trial, the Kyle Rittenhouse murder trial. The Kyle Rittenhouse, a 17-year-old teenager, was accused of killing 2 people and shooting another during unrest in Kenosha, Wisconsin last year. The police shooting of Jacob Blake in his back 7 times sparked unrest, which include marches, property damage, arson, and clashes with police. The two protesters were fatally shot in a confrontation with Kyle Rittenhouse. Blake's name was invoked in the protests in other cities as part of the Black Lives Matter movement, which resurged in the wake of several high-profile killings by police officers, the murder of George Floyd and the murder of Breonna Taylor in 2020. After the shooting of Jacob Blake, Kyle Rittenhouse said he was in Kenosha to protect a car dealership from being vandalized and to provide medical aid. It was mostly white people from a group called Antifa, a leftist group who were burning and looting businesses. Kyle Rittenhouse was acting like a Dylan Roof running around with a semi-automatic loaded rifle. He ended up killing two Antifa members. This was a clear case of white-on-white crime. He was put on trial for murdering two people. The judge, Bruce Scoder, dismissed the unuseful possession charge and the curfew violation charge during the trial. An unanimous jury found Rittenhouse not guilty for the remaining charges. The judge in the case was showing favoritism, and what this does is reinforce what we've been saying all along, that white supremacy is embedded in the laws and regulations of American society. It manifests in the criminal justice system, employment, housing, healthcare, education, and political representation. Kyle Rittenhouse was not on trial. White supremacy was. When it's time to punish white supremacy, all of a sudden, the financial elites cry foul. Mike Nithong tried to withhold DNA evidence. He was disbarred and sent to prison. When it comes to white supremacy, they get all kinds of protection, such as the criminal justice system and the media. To all the clowns out there who says there's no systematic racism in America, the Kyle Rittenhouse case is a perfect example that it is. According to the Associated Press, the judge said, quote, prosecutors can't show Rittenhouse linked to Proud Boys, unquote. For more information, I provide my source on my Medium page under Show and Prove. Imagine a 17-year-old black teenager who had an illegal firearm, body armor, and driving across state lines, who ended up killing two people and being connected to the Nation of Islam or a known gang. Do you really think the judge would treat him the same way? Republicans across the country have raised $2 million for Kyle Rittenhouse trial. You have a white supremacist who was involved with white supremacy ideology. He was meeting up with well-known far-right groups. The white supremacists know that the only things standing in between them from harming black people are Negro sympathizers. Remember the film Mississippi Burning. The freedom riders who the white supremacist was targeting. The reason why white supremacists target Negro sympathizers is to send a message to white people for being off code. The murder of Trayvon Martin crystallized this systematic racism was on the rise because of the growth of the black media. A nationwide discussion began happening because our survival was at stake. Kyle Rittenhouse was not supposed to have a firearm in the first place because he was underage. He admitted in court that he gave money to an older person who bought the firearm for him. This is known as a straw man sale, which is supposed to be illegal and a violation under the law. What does the George Zimmerman and the the McMichaels have in common. American society has deputized white males, giving them exert a false sense of authority over black people. George Zimmerman was told by the 911 dispatcher not to pursue Trayvon Martin. He did anyway and ended up killing him in cold blood. The McMichaels had no legal standing to make a citizen arrest because he was not committing a crime. The second topic, the Ahmaud Arbery trial. Ahmaud Arbery was a 25-year-old black man who was killed February 23, 2020, while jogging through a white neighborhood in Georgia. Ahmaud had been pursued by 3 white residents, Travis McMichael and his father, Gregory McMichael, who was armed while driving a pickup truck. William Bryant followed Arbery in a second vehicle. As Arbery ran to the left in front of the pickup truck, he was confronted and shot by Travis McMichael as they engaged each other. The district attorney office advised them to make no arrests. The prosecutor was biased towards Gregory McMichael because he was a former police officer in that county. Later, they indicted they indicted her because she mishandled the case and showed favoritism towards Gregory McMichael and his son Travis McMichael, who killed Ahmaud Arbery. Gregory McMichael and his son Travis McMichael, along with William Bryant, did not face any charges in February 2020 incident until a video surfaced 2.5 months later. The defense thought this was a trial from the 1950s where you could kill a black person without proof and that would be the end of it. Just like in the case of Emmett Till. These are the realities that black people face in America. A copy of the video of the shooting went to a local radio station, WGIG, who posted it to their website on May 5th. The video went viral. Within hours, District Attorney Tom Durden said a grand jury would decide whether charges would be brought and accepted an offer from Governor Brian Kemp to have the Georgia Bureau of Investigation to take over the case. They arrested the McMichaels on May 7th and Bryant on May 21st, charging them with felony and murder and other crimes. On June 4th, additional evidence was presented by the prosecutor to support the murder charges, including a statement to the GBI by William Bryant that Travis McMichael said F the N-word as Arbery lied dying. A grand jury subsequently indicted each of the 3 men on charges of malicious murder, felony murder, 4 counts, aggravated assaults, 2 counts, false imprisonment, and criminal attempt to commit false imprisonment. In April 2021, all 3 men were indicted on federal charges of 1 account each for interfering with rights, a hate crime, and 1 count each of attempting kidnapping, while the McMichaels were also charged with separate counts of using firearms during a crime of violence. The fact that the McMichaels were not arrested until 74 days after the killing, after the video went viral, sparked debate on racial profiling in the United States. Numerous religious leaders, politicians, athletes, and other celebrities condemned the incident. The district attorney's office were nationally criticized for their handling of the case and the delayed arrest. Georgia Attorney General Christopher M. Carr formally requests an intervention of the Federal Bureau of Investigation in the case on May 10th, which was granted the following day. Video shows Arbery jogging down the middle of a two-lane road toward a pickup truck stopped in the road. Gregory McMichael is in the bed of the truck, while his son, Travis McMichael, is standing near the driver's side door with a shotgun. Arbery approaches, and a physical confrontation occurs between him and Travis McMichael. 3 shots goes off as the two men struggle, which is seen in and out of the frame. After the 3rd shot, blood appears on Arbery's t-shirt before he stumbles and falls into the road. The men said they were conducting a citizen's arrest of Arbery. Georgia overhauls its citizen's arrest. The jury is made up of 1 black man and 1 white man, and the rest are elderly white women in their 60s from that community. The defense is trying to reinforce racial stereotypical fears. The 3rd topic, dangerous streets, getting killed in the hood. In every inner city in America, black families are hostage because urban terrorists have access to military weapons, which makes local residents afraid to walk down the streets. If you own a home in the inner cities, your property value will go down because local residents refuse to form a neighborhood patrol, which forfeit their right to survive. Ask me how I know, because it was the same way when I used to live in the hood. How Rittenhouse saw property being destroyed in the white neighborhood on television. He decided to drive there to protect it. In contrast, black people in Minneapolis let the black community burn. Why? Because black people don't understand how to beat the financial elites at their own game. As I mentioned in my revised book, Hurricane Katrina proved to black America how unprepared our people are to natural disasters. When we look at all of these rappers getting killed, we have nothing to say about it. We don't really want to fight against the criminal element in the low-income black community. Doing the right thing is very unpopular. I have been trying to start my Christian business for 30 years now, trying to help black families living in the inner city of Chicago, but I lack support for my cause. This is why I'm doing this show, to broadcast my vision beyond black America in order to reach the black masses and get the support I need from the global black family in Africa, Canada, the Caribbean, Brazil, Europe, and also right here in the United States. Rukam is trying to form a legitimate African coalition will connect Africa with the diaspora at the grassroots level. We're gonna build this platform in hopes to gathering 5 million active members worldwide. We plan on launching our own website and social network in the near future. I refuse to be ignored. This is why I am taking my story to the big screen so that the whole world would know our story. Because it's not just my story. If you're a member of Rakim, this is your story too. There is too much death and destruction in Black America. These record companies control what type of music is being played on the radio station. They pay these rappers millions of dollars because they need the Black community to remain in chaos. The financial elites are targeting our youth through lyrics that are promoting toxic, dangerous, and stupidity. We have evil music polluting our children's way of thinking. We have rappers telling young Black teenagers to be criminal-minded and kill others for respect. I've seen on Stars how they are promoting the Power trilogy and the Black Mafia family. All this negativity, while we're trying to tell young Black youth to do the right thing. On this video podcast, we're trying to build something constructive for young Black people that can be passed down to the next generation. Either you believe in this liberation or you want to remain part of the problem. The main problem is Black people don't want to take responsibility nor want to build anything constructive in America. Because Chicago aims to create and produce our own record company, marketing company, and distribution centers. I encourage everyone on my friends list and everyone in my social groups to please exchange emails with me so that we can stay connected, because we don't know when they will pull the plug on YouTube or on Facebook. Rapper Young Dolph was shot and killed in Memphis. Young Dolph, whose real name is Adolph Robert Thornton Jr., was killed inside Mika's homemade butter cookie stores. Some urban terrorists ran up on him and killed him in cold blood. One of my brothers was also killed in Memphis. I mentioned that in my revised book. From what I understand, young Dolph had a beef with Yo Gotti and Black Youngster. He was rising up in the music industry. The 36-year-old rapper is survived by 2 children. He was nearly killed in 2017 shooting. Young Dolph was a native of Chicago who grew up in Memphis. He released his album King of Memphis in 2016, and he also known for Rich Slave, which dropped in 2020 and rose to number 5 on the Billboard 200 chart. The shooting is another example of the senseless gun violence we are experiencing locally and nationwide. Memphis Mayor Jim Strickland tweeted, "Young Dolph's death, quote, serves as another reminder of the pain that violent crime brings with it," unquote. Here's the thing. We're in the middle of a race war. We've got to watch out for these urban terrorists, especially when we're trying to clean up our community. Young Dolph got killed in his own city just like Nipsey Hussle. We got to watch out when we're trying to come up in the world. We have to be aware of urban terrorists, shady white business people, and paid informants working to undermine your organization. Let's not forget about how the Black Panther Party was infiltrated through COINTELPRO, which is counterintelligence program. It was a series of covert and illegal conduct by the Federal Bureau of Investigation which is the FBI, aimed at surveilling, infiltrating, discrediting, and disrupting black political organizations. What our young people need to know is how to alleviate the beast before it gets out of hand. It's always the lowest person in a group who is trying to make a name for himself for street credibility. Here's another element to this, and that is these hip-hop blogs and radio shows. They also need to take responsibility for instigating these beefs in order to gain ratings. People like Vlad and Academic, just to name a few. Just before our brother got killed, Soulja Boy was on The Breakfast Club talking bad about Young Dolph. On this show, we promote constructive projects that someone is doing in their community. We give unknown artists an opportunity to reach our listeners when they drop a new hit. We promote authors and black businesses. We're not going to allow urban terrorists to hijack our culture and our community. We will take the lead to create a universal code for our people, starting in Chicago once we get this organization up and running. That's all I'm trying to do. And before I cut and run to Africa. The fourth topic, good intentions versus bad motives. We just have to accept the fact that many black people are unsavable. We are only responsible for our members. It boils down to someone who has good intentions for black people and those who are determined to destroy black people. Antonio Moore, co-founder of ADOS, American Descendants of Slavery, is fake. He told his followers to vote Democrat down ballot. He owes black people a public apology for misleading them during the 2020 elections. I reached out to him after he formed ADOS because I mentioned the same thing about wealth inequality in my revised book, and at the time I was hoping that we could work together to help our people. He was like so many other black leaders. He had a self-ego issue, so I left him alone. After he misled black people and Biden won the election, now he is focusing on doing movie reviews to get black people from talking about reparations. His track record tells you all that you need to know. You can look at my track record. Again, I've been on Facebook for 17 years. This is my third Facebook page because hackers are forever bugging, you know. And so I had to start all over. So, my message is consistent. I don't change. I mean, I don't have no support here in my city. But it is what it is because it doesn't matter what inner city that you go to, it's going to be the same problems. So since I'm already here in Chicago, and since I do have love for the city and for my people that's trapped in the inner cities, I'm going to do my best to get this organization popping here first. However, if we're unable to, once we get this organization up and running, if we're unable to get at least half of the people in the black community to work with us, because we're there to serve them, not trying to hide behind no computer. We're bringing this stuff to the devil's strongholds, those high crime, drug, and gang infested communities. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing this not out of my own strength. I'm doing this from Jesus / Yahshua. And so we're going to prove that God does exist through this organization. And that's like I'm calling upon Christians, especially that's on my friends list, black Christians, as well as white Christians and Christians just, around the world that's, real and authentic. Invest into this film project. So that way we can prove to the world that, God is real and everything, but also just to be able to come against this wicked system. Because Chicago is not going to be part of the current system. This is actually a new system. That's how come it's hard for me to try, to explain to people what this is, because the devil has blinded their minds and hearts. Yes, this is a Christian business, but I don't operate like your average Christian. Because we want to go beyond the four walls of the church. I don't want to just focus on just preaching to people. That's important as well. But we want to meet the need of the community as well. Create legitimate jobs for young people so that our young people don't keep killing themselves. Give them an alternative. We want to raise that bar. And we want to make sure that everybody that comes through our doors, that they get checked in the front. That means that, people, they're going to have to sign a community pledge, attend our mandatory orientations, pass our criminal background checks, and most of all, submit their thumbprint. So that way we can have that in our database. That's what we're going to do in Africa too. Anywhere where we get this organization up and running, that's how we're going to formulate it. And we're going to have the different components of this organization is actually going to be departments. So we're going to have a social service department, a spiritual department, a political department, an entrepreneur department, an entertainment department, a health and wellness department, and a black media department, all under the same roof. But again, I want to be able to share. I'm not just going to be sitting up here doing all the work and all that stuff. I want to share the limelight with others. But this is what Yahshua called me to do. And again, if it was up to me, this organization would have been up and running years ago. But this is my credibility. My revised book, my show, my online groups. I mean, I'm doing the best that I can, but I don't have that physical building. And so that's how come right now I'm just focusing on trying to do the film project. So that way we could raise funds through this video podcast. Trying to encourage, our listeners to support us in 3 ways. Again, either purchase the revised book. I have it available as an ebook or a softcover book, or persons can support us by getting items from our virtual store, or give a direct donation through our PayPal page. And that's all. Once we raise that 500,000, then we're going to go ahead and fast track everything. Again, if I don't have any black production companies that want to work with me, I'm not going to worry about that. I try to see if I can get my international African immigrants, if they have talents and skills in that area. I know Nollywood, they're pretty popular. So if they know people that's work with Nollywood, I would like to for them to contact me so that way we can get this popping here in America. Or people that's in the Caribbeans that know how to have a production companies. I reach out to them. Brazil, the whole 9 yards. The bottom line is that I'm not going to kiss up, lick up, or bow down to any person that don't want to work with us. That's just how it is. I want to connect with law-abiding citizens, people that's legitimate and on the up and up, not no shady people. because those are the kind of people I keep running across, and it is what it is. I'm standing my ground. All right, so W.E.B. Du Bois, he was against Marcus Garvey's plans for black people to go back to Africa. Later, W.E.B. Du Bois decided to relocate to Ghana. All of the people who listened to him could not leave because they invested everything in America. I keep hearing over and over about how the American empire is falling. Well, if that's the case, then why these leaders aren't saying anything to offer people an African plan to their followers? You see, in this organization, we want to connect with Africa. Not just sit up here and talk about it. I want to buy property in Africa. I want to be able to hire locals, once I'm on the continent. But before I can do all those things, I got to get this film project up popping first. So that way people can quote-unquote see what I'm doing. Because I'm not just sitting up here just trying to talk just to be talking. I want to, get this thing popping. It's been 30 years I've been pushing this. And yes, I'm getting burned out, tired, but hey, I'm still ready. Ain't nothing changed. It's time that we hold these black leaders accountable. We have a lot of black organizations around the United States, but we don't use them for our own interests. Instead, we only use them for other people's interests, like voting for a political party. Black people can organize rapidly when it's time to vote. For example, Stacey Abrams helped change Georgia from a red state to a blue state through organizing. If only black people would do the same for our own interests and for the next generation. Please share this video, hit the like button, and leave a comment in the comment section on my YouTube page and also on my Facebook page. And again, I want to thank everybody that listened to this whole video podcast. Again, I want to talk about, current issues. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to just be sitting up here twiddling my thumbs. But I'm doing the best that I can to get this my message out there. I'm not interested in writing any more books. I want to create businesses, but before I do that, I want to make sure I get this film popping so that way people can see my story, our story, on the big screen, and the proceeds will speak for itself, and for us to carry out everything which I have written in my revised book, because my revised book is the foundation of this business. Because Emmanuel Barbee is not here to play. I mean business. And also, again, that spiritual component that people, want to grow stronger in their faith. Hey, we got that there for them. That's between you and your maker. If you don't care about, your spirit, your afterlife. That's not my focus. My focus is on solving black issues. And if people want to grow stronger in their faith, that's cool. Because that's what this organization is about too. But we're not just going to focus on just one thing. We're focusing on many things because we want to solve issues up front and strengthen the black family and work with other people that want to work with us and that's not trying to rip us off. And we have this media organization in case someone that tries to rip us off. We'll put those suckers on blast and we will press charges against those people to the fullest. And I'm not playing. And so all I'm saying is, hey, all I'm asking for is a chance. But I'm not trying to get myself caught up with working with, the financial elites, because those are the enemies. We want to start our own system. at the grassroots level. And that's all I can say on that. Peace and blessings.